This meeting and all other meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the press in accordance with the Wisconsin statutes, and the citizenry may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Gage,
Here.
Gunderson,
Here.
Nadowski.
Here. Make a motion to approve the minutes for December 12, 2016.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it, I guess. Or third it. Two motions, and that's it.
Oh, he motioned? Oh, sorry. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. That's not close enough, I guess.
Okay, citizen appearance.
Oh, we gotta vote on it.
Okay.
All in
motion,
favor?
say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Citizen appearance. No one here.
See none.
Engineer report.
Okay, we'll start off with the first one on the construction update of the wastewater treatment plant. As I mentioned in the last December meeting, we were still in progress with closing that out with Myron. They've made some progress on the closeout issues. There's a couple small ones outstanding. And hoping that once we get concurrence with them, that we'll be able to close that out. Patrick, do you have anything, or Don, on that one? Okay. On the polymer feed system study, again, Patrick had that on the agenda from when I proposed the work to be completed this summer. I did meet with Patrick and Don and our wastewater operator, or wastewater engineer, designer, Dean Zanone, which is Dean's the one that is running the treatment plant project for us. And Nick, and we just talked about the expectations and so forth on the study, and you know, some concerns that the city has on the service that was completed originally with the belt filter press study that was completed. So Patrick, if you want to explain, we did come to a conclusion, you know, whatever we have to do to make it right for the city, Cedar's willing to step up and do it. So we went and compromised on it. The original letter of authorization was for $4,850. We agreed on to split 50-50 on the cost and not to exceed. So Cedar's cost is going to be more than $24.25, but that's our responsibility. We'll do it for $24.25, but not to exceed for hourly rates, and go from there and get it moving, get it done, and get the belt filter press put in service with a new polymer feed system that will optimize the operation of that press.
So just real quick, the rotary
Super quick.
press that we have, real quick, so it's not as super, I guess. We'll time it, I'll check the game tape, let you know how quick that actually is. But early on, I think it was maybe a month or two into me working here, early in 2013, we used to have a belt press. So it was a pretty open system, and it was pretty manually intensive for labor, and then it used quite a bit of water as well. What we talked about at the time, early in 2013, was switching up. At first we were gonna just rehab the press we had, then we talked about getting a brand new belt press, and then the ultimate decision was that we would spend a little bit more money up front, up to about $500,000 on getting a rotary press, because over 20 years it would be cheaper to buy it and run it over 20 years. So a little bit of the hang up was some of the cost initially goes up, but if you look over 20 years, well, then the operational costs will go down. The hang up here is that the polymer feed system was potentially either missed or hadn't been reviewed closely enough with the rotary press recommendation, and we're guessing at that. One of the things that we've talked about is that FOTH had given the recommendations on moving forward with the rotary press, and the end result was, without the polymer feed system being upgraded or updated or reviewed, the 20-year payback demands that this rotary press runs more efficiently than the press that we have. The press we have, rather than running twice as efficient or better, is actually running half as efficient as the one that we got rid of. And we've talked a little bit about that because we've talked about the fact that we went to 410s for schedule, and it's pretty much eaten up one of our guys to make sure that we run through our sludge, press it out. And quite honestly, this just needs to get upgraded. You'll note on the memo, Cedar had proposed that we would fix this back in June.
Yep.
We did some things with staffing, looked at some polymers in-house to try to delay the problem, or at least delay having to spend any good money on this. At the end of the day, I think we just have to get it reviewed, have to get it done. The cost is a little bit of heartburn there, I think, because the thought on our end was that potentially we're paying Cedar to fix something that should have already been done right the first time.
Right.
I would point out and say what Cedar's looking to do right now is a good thing for us because it's going to fix the problem. So as part of that, and knowing that the heartburn is in that cost, that's where Cedar had offered up to say, you know, they think it's going to cost $4,800 to do this work. They would be willing to eat half of that cost to get this done and get it moving. It's very much appreciated. I appreciate that. But then at the end of the day too, having one guy tied up to try to get the system running, we've spent $4,800 just in lost manpower at all. And so more importantly for me, to move forward on recommending this study and in the next couple months to get this fixed and replaced, we'll get back to where we thought we would be and then get our labor time back to our manpower back, so.
Free up a guy to do a little, get more work done.
Right, right. And we've talked about that part of it a little bit too recently, but that's, you know, I hate to go out and say that one guy is basically tied up with the treatment plant more than we thought, but that's pretty close to.
Pretty much what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say I'd recommend, I appreciate Cedar making that offer to cut the cost in
Right.
half. I would say, I'd recommend, I'd hope you'd approve this to move forward with the polymer feed study at a cost not to exceed $2,425.
No, how much?
$2,425.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve that, as you just stated.
I'll second it.
A motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
On the ferric feed system, just the update that I have is I know that talking with Don here just shortly and talking with our engineer that work has been probably 70% completed.
I would
Just
say.
fill them in.
Yeah, last week, Wednesday and Thursday, or I take that back, Wednesday and Friday, William and Reed came in and installed both ferric chloride pumps. And they also installed the level detector in the ferric chloride tank. Now we're just working on getting Greg Olkey to come and do the electrical connections on that and get it connected into the control box in structure 40, which is the press building. And once that's complete, then we'll get in touch with LW Allen and they will come and do the integration of those pumps, and we'll be up and running on those, and things will be good, and we'll be able to. This system will react quicker than we can to a lot of our problems within the last year. Agri-Pure will send us a slug of phosphorus, and if it happens overnight or if it happens after we test during the day, we get surprised by it in the morning. And this system we'll tie it to the new phosphorus analyzer that we installed with the upgrade, and we will be able to pace our flow or our feed of ferric chloride with that phosphorus analyzer, and we'll be able to react, and it'll be easier to make our permit. We won't get those surprise high phosphorus numbers on our tests when we have those for the DNR. So.
Nice.
Good. Item D is the city hall certified survey map. Right now, we're in the, as I talked with Patrick today, and Patrick's looked into the attorney, as we're waiting on the bank to sign off on the documents for the land transfer. As soon as we get that recorded, our CSM's ready to go. We've staked it already, we're done with that. The only thing we're waiting on is legal documents from the bank to transfer the land, and then that's ready to go. Well, number one, inspection. As you look at your, is it in part of the agenda packet,
Uh,
Patrick, the DNR letter?
The DNR letter is under F, 4F. There's a 2-3 page letter from Chris Linskins about the DNR's, the sanitary survey. So there's two things, there's a deficiency and a non-compliance. One of them, and I forget off the top of my head which, one of them is related to the wells and the well vents. And what do we have, 1-inch vents right now?
You need to go
Yeah.
up 2 when you do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but they're okay though if, when we rehab these wells or we take a look at the wells, that we don't have to get that fixed right away, we can get it fixed as we do the inspections and that?
Okay.
Right, so what we're looking to do is every 10 years, you're required to pull the wells, inspect them. We send a camera down, televise them, we pull the pumps and anything that's worn on those, we replace it. So at the February meeting, I will have a letter of authorization for the committee to review, for us to assist Don and his staff on the getting bids, and have a contractor come in, pull the well, or the pumps, televise the well, do any rehab that needs to be done in there, rehab the pump if there's something that needs to be pumped. Now this one also has the reservoir pump, so this well pumps to the underground reservoir, and then the underground reservoir pumps to the system.
Well, one's over on Elizabeth Street,
Corner
by
of
the
Elizabeth
fairgrounds there.
Now, hold on, but, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, at Elizabeth and Alfred.
So we'll put
Roughly.
that into a package for the contractor to give us a quote to pull it and do the maintenance on it for us. And then that suffices for your 10-year, every 10 years you have to do this. And at the same time, they will also take care of this deficiency with the 1-inch to 2-inch vents. And that's what they were saying, Patrick mentioned. DNR is okay with whenever we go to pull a well and do maintenance on it, that we make the change at that time.
Change that.
Well, number one, we have to make the change this year.
So you're gonna drain that tank completely?
No, all they'll do is, they won't drain the tank.
This is just an
That's-
inspection.
Yeah, we won't do
The tank has a
we won't
separate-
inspect the tank, we'll inspect the
Yeah,
pumps.
this-
All
the
right.
tank has a separate inspection schedule.
Alright,
So
Yeah, we do the
that
tanks
was-
every 5 years.
Yeah,
With
And
divers.
1 year we do it with we have to drain it all the way. And then the other 5 year, we can do it with a ROV, as a remote operating vehicle that goes in and swims
Yeah.
around, takes pictures. So that's the way we've been doing it, well, the last 10 years. And before that, they would go in, the scuba diver would go in, you know, so.
Hopefully,
that job?
Yeah.
hopefully come out. Yeah.
Just sign it for
So that's where we are with this, the well number 1 inspection. So the DNR sent us the letter, asked for replies. I sent an email to them a month and a half ago saying they want to bring everything to your attention, let you guys look at it first before we make decisions. And he wanted an answer by last Monday. I sent him an answer this morning saying that we will take care of this non-deficiency in the inspection this year. And then the other item, which is F, is I told him that I'll talk to you tonight about a water system capacity update of the study we did in 2001, and that will address the 85,000 gallon tank, because if it's recommended to do something different than rehabbing that tank, we don't want to go do all these repairs that they're talking about, because within 3 to 5 years you may replace it.
Here's that deficiencies on your screen there. On the,
Right. So on E.
that's the one up on Mill and Clark Street.
Right, up there. That's supposed to be all pitted and stuff, too, they say?
Yeah, that's, we've been talking, we've had that one on the schedule to be reviewed, to either rehab it or replace it.
It's in the CIP.
Yeah,
That's the smallest one we got up there?
Yep.
yeah, because the other ones are what, 250 and 300?
Right.
Yes.
Goes this way?
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. In 2001, we completed a system study of your entire system. The water pumpage, the water demand. What we'll do is we'll take and update all those numbers to today's current numbers, and then we'll rerun the evaluation. At that time, the tank was, you were just about at capacity, or you didn't have, you were just short. Now you've got 100,000 gallons in the ground too. So you've got quite a bit, but you're still right on that borderline, with the higher water use now, there's potential that you're gonna need some capacity somewhere. So today's world, trying to rehab that 85,000 gallon tank may cost more than to put up a new one and do that. But we'll evaluate that, and I mentioned to the DNR that we'll have that evaluation done by July. July Public Works meeting, we'll bring you the draft report for your review, and then once you approve it, then I'll forward it on to DNR for their review and approval, and then we will meet that deficiency that he talked about. And he's okay with all that. So that's it for the engineer's report, unless you have any other questions.
Okay, okay, that was, yep, all right.
Both
Yep.
of them, yes.
Discussion on possible action on the cross-connection inspection service.
We had this item, last month. There was a question on holding it for some more information on what's involved in getting certified to be an inspector. And then also, so that first year that we went out, we spent $19,000 to just get up to compliance. The thought there was that at some point we'd be able to just take the program over. HydroCorp is looking at doing our high-risk inspection sites, which is usually going to be the more complicated industrial dairy sites and those types of things. What they're looking to do it for is, I believe it's $6,300. Now, when they do it, they have somebody that's certified, they have all the equipment, they'll come in and do the inspection, they will take care of the compliance paperwork, sending it out to them. They will also cover re-inspections with that cost too. And everything is pretty much handled on their end. They file with the DNR and say everything's good to go. Now, as it relates to getting somebody certified, there's a 40-hour class to get certified, plus exams, because they certify you in the same way they certify a lot of the trades. And with that, typically what you see is a lot of the plumbers will be certified, or the building inspectors that already have a good base of knowledge in these areas. So could we get a program where our people are doing more than just the residentials? I think we could probably take a look at that for sure. The hang up in the past has been, I think we had a local plumber, Josh, who we would hope
Yep.
would do that.
Yep.
And he's, I guess that's what happens, you rely on that, he's got another business too. He did do, I think, some treatment plant work for us, just at the treatment plant, right before we were getting the project up and going. But that's kind of fallen on the side a little bit, because I'm pretty sure he's not into that work right now, for this type of work. But we could probably get an employee certified, get the equipment, and then actually the printout with the list of equipment I don't have here, I had it printed before, but we could probably do that. The question I would have is, with these high-risk sites, I'm not certain that it makes sense for us to have somebody in-house on staff to go on their first round of inspections to be the high-risk sites, where they're a little bit more vulnerable to, you know, they're not high risk because they're in trouble, it's high risk because the work that they're involved with is pretty heavy duty, and if you don't get this right, or if it's not in good shape, the risk is higher.
Well, can't we team up with a surrounding city that has a certified plumber that could do this?
I think
Will that
as
still-
long as they're into that, I think we probably could. The big thing would be, if we would do something like that with somebody else surrounding, what would their cost be? You gotta go.
I just wanted to sit there about.
Sure.
Snow emergency, snow emergency.
I meant to do that before I came in.
Oh, sure. So the big thing is that at some point this year, and I think it's gotta be like by summer, we wanna get these high-risk ones inspected. Last month, we talked about, can we do it in-house? I would say I would probably recommend that if we do, it's not gonna be for this round here. Now, if we should be getting proposals from other communities, or other communities that might be willing to do something like this, I can tell you that I haven't gotten any quotes or proposals from them. I can.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them are doing this, because basically when you contract this out, you just got a message or whatever maybe? You're texting you? I think the big one is HydroCorp is the big company that's doing this, if you go to contract out for it, and this is pretty much all they do. I don't have a problem taking a look at any partnerships with other communities.
Right.
We could, I can just tell you that we have
Well,
it right now.
The reason I'm saying that is to free these guys up a little more, you
Yeah,
know, to do more.
yeah,
You know, they're tied up doing the plumbing and stuff around here. And, you know, we got public works stuff that could be done.
right,
You know, they can't do it because they're doing this.
right.
Otherwise, maybe hire another person, part-time guy, to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I would
like
say
that.
for this cost, the hang up with this is hiring somebody. It's not, this isn't an every year job. It's,
Okay.
at minimum, it's, the high risks are every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
So there'll always be an off year in there.
How many high risks do you have?
I think it's just in 20, I looked at it the other day, HydroCorp put in a proposal to inspect them twice. And that gets to about 50. But they put a couple in there because they're assuming that they
So
want
it's
to
only
inspect
about-
all of them, but.
It's about 20, 25 of your structure, or businesses.
Yeah, I would
So
say,
it's not that big.
I would say it's not that big, but the businesses that you're looking at are the biggest
Oh, sure.
businesses though too, you know.
Their server gonna blow up or what?
What's that?
Their server gonna blow up or what is that?
I think we're good. It might be that this room is a little bit cooler, so it's trying to heat up. No, it's just that projector running a little bit. It's trying to cool itself, I think, more than anything.
That's all you got to say on it?
Yeah, I mean, we could go out, it's not a problem at all, it doesn't have to get approved tonight. But we can, what we'll do is we'll go out to some of these other communities and just check in with
See
them.
what they
I
do,
know HydroCorp has like Clintonville and some of these other ones, and I may, once we ask, it might be that the other area communities are hiring them too, and I can tell you, I just
Right.
don't know right now. I know our inspector this last round lived in Clintonville, and so that's kind of how we knew what he was all doing too.
Right, right.
But ideally, where I've seen this, where it ends up being a good in-house thing, is where you have like a plumbing inspector already, who's either a plumber or been an inspector, so they're already in inspecting the plumbing, as opposed to our guys looking at like our basic level of plumbing for our stuff.
Right.
Because this is a deep dive through every connection you have and every
Mhm.
pull on your water system, because they're trying to make sure everything's backflow prevented and all that.
Right.
Yeah, we'll hold on to it. I think the big thing is just gonna be for the high risk. I don't know that we would be able to do it in-house. For sure, this time we won't be
When
able
do we
to.
have to have it done by? Or when do we have to have this in place by?
It's this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So not hitting it this month isn't a big deal.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you got time to check around then, right?
Yeah, we would, yep.
Administrator and Operation Supervisor Report.
Just a quick note, I've got, and I think a couple of you made some comments, but the last 2 weeks now, I put together a weekly memo. And it's not day by day, come in, answer the phone, and all that stuff, but it's a lot of when topics turn or somebody asks me something or work on something, it's gonna probably give you guys a good idea on what the day looks like. I think eventually, once I've got these all basically in Word, I'll be able to copy and paste them out into these reports. So the public works stuff, I'll pull out, report of public works, finance, rec, I'll be able to kind of paste those out so then you'll have them, but I also don't want to go and take 4 weeks of reports and put them down for my administrative report either, because that might get pretty lengthy, but as you get these weekly memos though, let me know if there's anything that you need to know more on or want to know more on, or if there's more or less info you'd like, let me know.
Actually, these last two I thought were
Yeah,
pretty decent. Gets us
Okay.
up par communication. It's
yeah,
good.
so that should help. I would just say my last week or couple weeks has basically been all agri-peer
Yeah.
driven, and we'll talk about that in closed session, but it's about what I've got.
Yeah, there isn't too much to add on my end. We covered the fair feed system and pretty much the winter operations. We are working on getting CDLs for the guys for the new truck. Everybody's filled out their applications online, and we'll be just need to be doing some studying and setting up appointments to take their temps tests.
Basically, that's pretty easy to do. You know, you just go into the DMV and you can take it right there.
Yep.
An hour, you got it. You know.
Yep.
You know, we've had this truck since this spring, and we're sitting there on it now. There it sits.
Yep, and part of that was we were under the assumption that we'd be able to run it without CDLs, but looking into the CDLs a little further, it doesn't really appear that way. So we're trying to remedy that right now and get this truck moving so that when we do get a snowstorm in the range where we feel we need to call in folks, that we can plow snow and get it done.
If you look at it, you know, it's a $30,000 truck sitting there, and the cost that they have at Phelps is, you know, $157 an hour for that loader and $120 for a grader. And we could save $2,000 to $3,000 every snowstorm. Cover half of it.
Possibly.
It's,
What are you gonna
it's,
do with the snow?
it's possible, but
No, I
then
mean,
we wouldn't have
you know, when you
we
plow
wouldn't
the
have
streets,
folks.
Phelps has got to do all the clearing.
But they won't do that if they don't plow.
Then
Sure they will.
I'd want that, make that in writing first.
I plowed the city for 12 years with the grader, and they still did all the clearing. That was their job, to do the clearing. You know, we could just assist them. And we don't have to do all the, we can't do the clearing.
No, we can't do any of the clearing.
No, but we can plow all the streets.
We'll be looking into that in the future. And that's a discussion we're gonna have to have as far as when we can get folks to come in. 'Cause they won't, they've expressed to us that they, you know, won't be too anxious to come in and clear when we need them. It'll
I think
be
that's
when
some
they,
kind of
when they're,
political
when they're
battle.
good, when they're ready.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. We should talk about that. You'll have some better insight on that too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we should talk about that because there's been. I'll leave it for the open session record. I'll leave it at that, but we'll talk about that.
Okay, any such matters authorized by law?
Well, I've got, so just before that, the February Public Works meeting,
Mm-hmm.
we're probably looking at, I think we've said finance for that second Monday at about 3:30 again.
13th.
So the second Monday still good? About 6:30 good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's for the common council. What do we got for public works?
That would be the 13th. And
It'll
then
be the
13th of
13th.
February.
the council would be the next one. What is it then?
February 13th.
20th is council then next month,
Yeah.
President's Day.
Okay. We got to do a roll call here or go into closed session?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to state statute 19.85, subparagraph 1, subparagraph E and G. Deliberation where competitive or bargaining reasons require closed session and to consider advice of legal counsel regarding litigation it may become involved in. The reason for the closed session is to review negotiations for updated wastewater industrial service agreement. If the committee adjourns into closed session, it may choose to reconvene in open session at the completion of the closed session in order to take actions on the items from the closed session pursuant to 19.85, subparagraph 2, Wisconsin statutes.
A second.
Okay, right.
So we'll do roll call. Gage,
Good choice.
All right.
Gunderson,
Aye.
Radowski.
Aye.
Say name.
6:59.